Did you know that children comprised a major share of captives during the transatlantic slave trade? Their stories, often overlooked, are a vital part of understanding African history. Today, we delve into the often untold experiences of African children, exploring how slavery, colonial rule, and resistance shaped their lives and the continent itself. Our journey begins in the heart of the slave trade. From the 16th to the 18th centuries, an estimated 12 million Africans were forcibly transported to the Americas. Shockingly, about 1/4 of these enslaved people were children. These young captives faced unimaginable horrors. They endured the same brutal conditions as adults, including corporal punishment, malnutrition, and deadly diseases during the horrific Middle Passage. As time went on, planters increasingly sought younger captives, believing they would live longer and provide more years of labor. The transatlantic slave trade turned African childhood itself into a commodity, forever altering the course of history. The end of slavery didn't bring an end to the exploitation of African children. Colonialism ushered in a new era of oppression, with devastating consequences for generations. One particularly disturbing example is the policy of colonial Belgium in the Congo. Hundreds, possibly thousands, of mixed-race children were systematically removed from their African mothers and sent to Belgium. In many instances, these children were taken when they were incredibly young, sometimes as soon as they could use the bathroom independently. Parents who resisted were threatened with imprisonment and other severe repercussions. The Belgian state and church justified these actions by claiming the children needed education. However, the policy also served a darker purpose, maintaining racial hierarchy. By separating mixed-race children from their African families and placing them under state and religious control, the colonizers sought to erase their heritage. To further obscure the truth and protect the reputations of European fathers, colonial agents often changed the children's names and birth dates, falsifying records and making later family tracing nearly impossible. These children were not orphans or abandoned, they were victims of a systematic state-sponsored seizure. This suppressed history reveals the cruel extent to which colonial powers were willing to go to control not just land and resources, but also identity and belonging. Amidst the darkness of slavery and colonialism, there shone the light of resistance. The Soweto Uprising of June 16, 1976, stands as a powerful testament to the courage and determination of African children. On that day, approximately 10,000 black schoolchildren in Soweto, South Africa, marched to protest the poor quality of their education and the imposition of Afrikaans as the medium of instruction. These children, some as young as elementary schoolers, were not passive victims, they were active agents of change. Their peaceful protest was met with brutal force. Police opened fire on the unarmed students, resulting in the deaths of more than 100 people and injuring over 1,000 in the weeks that followed. Hector Pieterson, a 13-year-old boy, became the most well-known symbol of the uprising. A photograph of his lifeless body being carried by a fellow student, with his sister running alongside in anguish, became a global symbol of the anti-apartheid movement. While Hector's image is iconic, it is important to remember that the Soweto uprising involved thousands of children and a broader student movement. The uprising demonstrated that education policy can ignite mass political resistance when schooling is used as a tool of domination rather than liberation. In 1991, the Organization of African Unity established the International Day of the African Child, observed every year on June 16, in commemoration of the Soweto Uprising. This day serves as a continent-wide reminder of children's rights, schooling, and political voice. It transformed the South African student revolt into a global platform for advocating for the well-being of African children. The legacy of slavery, colonialism, and resistance continues to shape the lives of African children today. Persistent debates over language of instruction, school access, and education quality echo the grievances that sparked the 1976 Soweto protests. Child rights campaigns across Africa still focus on problems with deep historical roots: unequal education, forced displacement, child labor, and state neglect. The Belgian Meters case remains relevant, with descendants still seeking identity records, family reunification, and legal recognition. Modern African states grapple with the consequences of colonial archival destruction and renaming practices, which complicate citizenship, inheritance, and family tracing. Efforts are underway to build African-centered children's books, curricula, and cultural projects, including new educational media created specifically for African children. These initiatives aim to address the historical invisibility of African children in archives and to empower them with their own stories. The history of African children is complex and often painful. But it is a history that must be told. By understanding the past, we can work towards a future where all African children have the opportunity to thrive. The story of the stolen children of Belgium remains a mostly suppressed and overlooked history. By acknowledging the past, we can help families find closure and we can learn valuable lessons. The effects of altered names, birth dates, and parentage creates a documentary gap that still obstructs truth-finding and accountability. Today, the International Day of the African Child is used by governments, NGOs, and international organizations to discuss the rights, welfare, and education of children across Africa, a living testament to the courage of the children of Soweto. This commemoration ensures their sacrifices continue to inspire progress towards a brighter future for Africa's youngest citizens.